So welcome back. In the previous video, we saw how to deal with objects and we saw how you can create objects inside an array. You declare your object. So each time you are creating an object, you create a new instance referring from the class that you created, and you try to insert or try to create values inside that object. So down here, after creating the object, you push one by one into your array. After initializing your array that you're having 3 students, you start pushing one by one. After we saw that there is no other way that we can access the items into an array unless using the for loop. But today we are going to look at another method, and the method we are going to look at is called the advanced for loop. In other programming languages, it's called the for each. But in Java, even in Java, you can also call it the for each method. But me, I prefer using the advanced for loop. So down here, you can first comment out this. So let me create a new example. Let me say I'm having an array of numbers. I'll say int nums, which is an array, is equal to new nums, new nums, uh, new and nums, which is an array of integers. So inside we're having two things into our array. So let me try to insert some values inside my array. So I'll come here, nums at position 1, I insert like 10, and nums at position I insert like, let me say 20. So this is, I have successfully created some values inside my array. So in other ways, you can use a for each, you can use a for loop here, but let us try using the advanced for loop. Scholars find this much more easier than declaring your or initializing your for loop. Like, they find this more easier. So how to use it? You say for a keyword for open brackets. So in this case, to explain a bit about the advanced for loop, simply the advanced for loop, you can have access to a single item. Hopefully I'm clear. You can have access to a single item from the arrays. This is how you can do it. You can have access to a single item. Let me say num. You use these two colonies. The item is coming from an array of nums. So in this case, you open like this. But remember the data type. This is an array of integers. Hopefully I'm clear. The for loop, you can have access to a single item. In this case, this can be our variable. Then, but we are referring from the nums, which is an array, meaning here from the array that I'm getting, from the array that I'm having, I can have access to a single item. So when I come here and just say system dot print out, and I print out num, let me say num, just num, and we see what is going to happen. Let me compile this Java demo.java, compile and run. You will see that we are getting 10 and 20, which is inside our array. We have successfully printed out a single number into the array that we are having, meaning the advanced for loop will have access to a single item in the array. Yeah, hopefully I'm clear. So how to use the advanced? So I can comment out this, then first clear this. So let me use the advanced for loop to access. Instead of using the for loop, I can use the advanced for loop to access, or I can use my for each, anything that you want. So in this case, remember I'm having student I want to access a single student. From a single student that I'm accessing, this will be just any variable. You can name it anything, but you have to be on point. Your variables have to mean something. So from the students, I'm accessing these students in an array. I'm accessing a single student. But remember the type. The type is coming from the object that I created up here. So I will say student, student, then open. So you will see that I can now access a single student. When I say system.out print, I say student dot, let me say I want to access the name, comma, and besides the name, I want to access the age here. Student. You can see that I'm using this variable here, this variable that I created to access a single student. But what the loop will do, it will loop through all our array that we are having, the array of students, and it will have access to single students. That's why it is able to print out each student with his details. Hopefully that's more understandable. So the edge, and lastly, I'll print out the ID of the student dot ID, like this. So let us compile this and run. You will see that we have successfully printed out each student using the advanced for a loop or the for each method. The for each method just helps you to have access to a single student or have access to a single item into an array. Hopefully I'm clear there. Yeah, for me, like in the coming videos, we are going to be fetching data from an API. We are going to see this in a more practical way. But if you manage to understand this, then everything will be okay on your side. So that's it for today. Thank you guys.